Yo, what's going on, man? Today is April the 3rd, 2024. It's your boy Chris, and this is the evening edition of the ChrisBeCappinn NBA show, where we're live on Twitter. We're also live on YouTube as well. I got Twitter Spaces open for the evening shows, as I always do. You guys feel free to join in over there. Not streaming over there, but you guys can join in. I'll open it up for anybody who has plays that they want to share. And let's just jump into it for today. We got a big card. I would encourage everybody that wants to listen to the full breakdown of these games to go back and listen to the morning show. I did a stream this morning that was about almost an hour and 45 minutes, hour 30 minutes, something like that. Where we did kind of handicap the games live, looked into some angles, kind of followed up on some things. So if you guys want the full breakdown of the games, definitely go back and check out that morning show. But I'll give you guys the plays that I made because we do have some injury news, and this is what I was planning to do yesterday. Just got caught up with some travel yesterday. So let's jump into it for today, man. Hit the like button for me if you can as you join the show. Yesterday, I gave out 3 plays. One of them was live. The Bucks -1.5 at the end of the third quarter. They lost. I was on the Clippers money line early before Kawhi got ruled out. That sucked, but we did cash on Toronto and Lakers to go over. So looking to get that back here today, and I got a few bets that I have placed that I want to share with you guys. So first game up, this line hasn't moved. The total has moved, though, is the Lakers and the Wizards. I talked about this game earlier today, gave out a bunch of different reasons why I like the over, and that's the play for the game here. Staying away from the side, but I do love that Bron and AD are on track to play. Neither one of them played in the fourth quarter yesterday. They didn't have to because the Lakers had such a big lead. I think that they're going to play in this game, and it makes sense for them to keep playing the games that aren't taxing. The Wizards struggle to defend the rim. LeBron should be able to get to the rim. I think he only missed 2 shots yesterday. He should be able to get to the rim. I expect Anthony Davis to have a big game in this one as well. Lakers should be able to score. Wizards play with pace. Jordan Poole at point guard. Don't think the Lakers going to be locked in defensively. And then a couple trends that go with it as well. Lakers 9-3-1 to the over when they're playing unrested this season. About 242 points being averaged in those games combined between the two teams. They're 9-1 to the over in their last 10, including a perfect 7-0 to the over when they're on the road. Those games totaling about 247 points. So I do like the Lakers to go over and the Wizards to go over today. Also looking at the Wizards, they're 3-0 to the over when they're playing unrested in their last 3 games. And for the last 5 head-to-head matchups has gone over between the two teams as well. I think the Lakers live in the paint today. I don't think that they're going to be locked in defensively here. Last game of the road trip, but I do think that they score points. So that's the quick breakdown of that game. Of course, both teams on the second leg of a back-to-back. If I had to play this side, especially with Kuzma coming back, Kuzma has missed the last 2 games. I'll probably be looking towards the Wizards. I think that them catching 12.5 points. Granted, they're not in the greatest spot. I'm not looking for the Lakers to cover back-to-back games the way that they have, but they have been rolling. Wizards been playing a little bit more defense. I just don't think that they're going to be able to have it against the Lakers. So I'll stay off the side. I won't give you guys a play on the side at all. I can see the Lakers smashing the Wizards. I could also see the Wizards kind of keeping it going here because the Lakers kind of overlook them in this spot. And just getting away with a win, I think, is what's paramount in this game. They could care less about covering the spread. So I guess I say, Wizards plus the points is what I would lean. And the play is on the over, though. I gave it out last night, I think, at 233 or 230. I think it was 233. It's up to 235.5 now. So best of luck if you guys are tailing there. Before we move on to the next game, let me go through the comments real quick and see what you guys are saying about this one. I'll be quick with the comments so we can keep it pushing. Let's see what you guys are saying here. Let's go Hawks. Cherokee says, what's up to my girl Tasha? Hope you're having a great day. She still says I can't bet against Boston. Hornets coach resigned. Portland blowout incoming. Yeah, so we're going to talk about that game in a second. I actually did place a small wager in that one. We're going to talk about that game in a second. I don't know where Prolific and Jose are. They might tap in a little bit later. Tasha says, Chris was on Portland. I was on that team total over. Yeah, we're going to get there, Tasha, in 1 second. Tasha also says the only thing about Boston, they come off strong in the first half and then get tired in the second half. And that's a fact. They do. Their offensive efficiency is off the roof. It's through the roof in the first half, which is why you can't necessarily it's not sustainable. My guy Justin tapping back in. What up, Justin? Gerson says, what's up, Chris? Just finished watching the morning show. Now I'm just catching the live show as well. Appreciate you, Gerson, for tapping in twice today, man. Will says, "What up, though, Chris? Glad y'all made it back to the crib. Say, appreciate that, man." He says, "Let's get the cash." What's up to my guy LJ? Clarence likes Wizards team total over 111.5. Couldn't talk you off there. Um, do, 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 do. All right. Call me Aries, my guy. Tap back in. Became a member again. Appreciate that. And then Tariq says, "I'm taking the Wizards to cover in the first half specifically." Lakers have been doing a lot of their damage in the first half, Tariq. I was actually thinking about fading the Wizards in the first half, but not anything that I bet. So I hope you cash in, my brother. Let's go on to the next game. We got the Portland Trailblazers against the Charlotte Hornets. So I talked about this one at extreme length earlier today. And I told you guys from the jump, man, I was just going through looking at the injury report, like, yo, Portland got to win a game here eventually, right? Like, this team is 0-10 in their last 10 games, 4-5-1 against the spread. But they are coming off a game where they should have probably won. They got Aiden back. And I like their roster. This just sounds gross saying, but I like this Portland Trailblazer roster over that Charlotte Hornets roster right now. Charlotte has, it looks like they have Miles Bridges. Still, he's listed as doubtful. If he gets rolled out, I think Portland might flip to a favorite just because they don't have but so much offense. Outside of Brandon Williams, Brandon Miller, I'm not sure how they're going to score in this game. I'm sorry. I'm not sure how they're going to score. Miles Bridges is listed as doubtful. He hasn't been ruled out. But I like Portland here, man. I do like Portland. And it's a lot of it is for the injury report. You got to dig deep and figure out, who's going to play. You got Nick Richards ruled out. You got Micic ruled out. Of course, no Marvin Williams. Brandon Miller could potentially sit in this game. And I just think the Blazers need a win. After you've lost, so many games in a row, I'm taking the team that's getting the points in this game. So I did play Portland. It's a smaller bet. Haven't even sent it out to the members yet. Literally locked it in right before the show. But I like Portland in the spot, man. I think they should eat in the paint. They should be able to get to the rim. And as long as they can keep Charlotte off the three-point line, where Charlotte might not even have their three-point shooters if Brandon Miller and Miles Bridges don't play. I like the matchup for Portland here, man, especially coming off a game they probably should have won against Orlando at 17-point dogs, losing by 1 the other day. So give me Portland in this spot. Like I said, a small bet, but I did think it was worth the wager. Portland is the play for me here. As we get the news, and we can wait. Grant Williams is in. Miles Bridges is out now. Yeah, that's enough for me. So yeah, if you guys want that one, go jump on it because that line's gonna move. Grant Williams just officially got ruled in. Brandon Miller also listed as in, and Miles Bridges also ruled out. So real quick, let's see where because that line is gonna move, and I do expect Portland to flip to a favorite now. I don't see Portland as a favorite, though. I see somebody said it in the chat. Wendy says Portland is the favorite. Portland isn't the favorite on the sports books that I'm looking at, but I would definitely be taking Portland. And this is a game where, if you like Portland, I think if you got access to Bet365, this is where you play Portland on Bet365. That way, if they get up by 20, you can just get your money and you get out. You don't got to worry about sweating this one out for the whole game. But I do, like I said, I do think Portland is the right side in this game. Playing them on the Monty line. Portland. All right, let's see what you guys are saying about this one. Tasha says she took the Portland team total over 105.5. Let's see. Justin says, I don't want to bet it. I don't want to bet. Just was going to keep an eye on it. Lakers over 233.5 and my only action in the game. Okay. Like it. S-Dot likes Portland on the money line. Tariq says, let's do a live show watching the Portland game. Yeah, right. You couldn't pay me enough. Portland organization couldn't pay me enough to do that. Not that live stream. I've been thinking about doing some live streams. I might do them during the playoffs where we can make some live plays during the game. Not forcing anything, but probably a couple good looks. Don't seem like you guys are too tapped in this one. Let's go to the next one. So Pistons and the Hawks. This it was kind of conflicting for me. You got a Hawks team that's laying 12 points now versus the Detroit team that's been god awful. And Cade Cunningham, I think, let me just pull the injury report up real quick. I think he is still listed as questionable in this game. So that was the only thing that was holding me up in this spot. The play in this game, in my opinion, is the Atlanta team total to go over. But you still got Cade Cunningham listed as game time decision. He's listed as questionable. Not sure if he's going to play. I feel like they're going to eventually shut him down. It feels like to me if they were going to play him, they would have probably played him already. But I like the Atlanta Hawks team total over. I like it. I just like it more if Cade plays because I feel like that forces Atlanta to have to score more points. I'm not sure if Atlanta has to score a lot of points if Cade Cunningham is ruled out. And the reason why I say that is because I was looking at a couple trends. So here's what scared me about it and why I haven't placed the bet yet. Since the All-Star break, looking at the Pistons as road dogs, they're 7-2 to the under. So they haven't scored a lot of points. They're only averaging 101 and giving up 111. So they're still losing by double digits, but they're not necessarily giving up too many points because teams don't have to score that many. They scored 96 against the Wizards, 91 against the Timberwolves, 99 against the Knicks, 94 against the Celtics. So held under 100 4 straight times. If I want the Hawks to score 118 points, I'm going to need the Pistons to score a few points to contribute to that. Then you look at the Hawks. As you look at the Hawks after the All-Star break, their offense has actually been good. The Hawks after the All-Star break at home, 7-3 straight up, 7-3 against the spread. They're averaging 118, which is what the number is right now. They've actually gone over this team total of 118.5 in 4 of their last 5 games. They scored 132 against the Hornets, 120 against the Celtics, 120 against the Trailblazers, 123 against the Celtics, and 113 against the Bucks. And that was the third game in 4 nights. That Bucks game was, and DeJounte was coming off that 44-point game. Also, Hawks after the All-Star break as a home favorite, 5-1 straight up and against the spread, averaging 119 points. So they've only been held under this number twice. Like I said, against the Magic and the Cavs, those defenses are way better than this Pistons defense. So while I like the Hawks to score in this spot, haven't locked the bet in yet because I want Cade Cunningham and Marcus Sasser to be in. But the Hawks are the number 1 offensive rated team since the All-Star break. And I like them to be able to score. I like Jalen Johnson. I talked about him earlier this morning. I don't even know what his points plus rebounds are, but points plus rebounds, and assists, I think Atlanta has their way in this game against the Detroit Pistons. But like I said, I just want Cade to be ruled in. So those are my thoughts on that game. Let's see what you guys are saying here. Tasha likes Atlanta team total over and the full game to go over 224. Clarence says over 224 as well. And I'm not sure how to pronounce this. Is that Childick? I could be wrong. Just let me know if I'm pronouncing that right or wrong. I don't want to butcher your name. Says Hawks take it as well. All right, so pushing along. Let's get to the next one. Hawks team total over. I think it's 118.5 now is the number. Like I said, I want Cade rolled in though because without him, they may only score 100 points again, and I'm not sure if Atlanta needs to score as many points. The Grizzlies and the Bucks is the next game. So conflicted on this one, but I know I don't want the Bucks full game. We talked about this one earlier this morning as well. Memphis will be without Desmond Bane, where they typically don't. They struggle to score. John Conchar also listed as doubtful. And then on the Milwaukee side, of course, we talked about this earlier too. Patrick Beverley's out. Chris, he injured his hand in the game yesterday, ended up coming back to the bench. But Chris Middleton is out, Patrick Beverley's out, and Damian Lillard's also ruled out. So you see this line come down from this was 13.5. It's come down to 12.5 now in favor of Memphis. And for whatever reason, I talked about it earlier, Memphis plays this team really, really well. So you get a revenge spot for the Bucks here. They lost the game before All-Star break on TNT. They were laying 14 points in that game, and they lost outright to this Memphis team. Memphis is actually 4-0 straight up and against the spread in their last 4 matchups for whatever reason against the Milwaukee Bucks. So the Bucks coming off a very, very flat loss yesterday where they were held under their team total against So Johnny Davis and Rashawn Holmes are both out tonight against the Lakers. That's even better for the over because Rashawn Holmes literally the only center that they got. Rashawn Holmes. Yeah, Rashawn Holmes is literally the only center that they got. So that's great. That's great news for the over. Okay. All right. So getting back to this Memphis and Milwaukee game, I kind of wanted to get there. I can't. First of all, I know I can't trust the Bucks. I don't think that they want to win by margin. I'm not even sure if they're capable of winning by margin. But I'll say this: the difference between the Memphis Grizzlies and the Washington Wizards is that the Washington Wizards do a really good job of defending the 3-point line. The Memphis Grizzlies do not. So Milwaukee, all they want to do is shoot a bunch of threes. Giannis getting downhill, attacking the rim every now and then. He's going to struggle with Jared Jackson Jr. down there, most likely. And the shot should fall for the Milwaukee Bucks here. So Pat Connaughton, guys like Malik Beasley. I told you guys, I think they shot like 20% from the three-point line or less than 20% yesterday. I think those shots probably fall today against Memphis. No bet on the game. I do kind of lean towards the Bucks because it's a revenge spot. Revenge spot and a bounce back spot for the Bucks in this one, but it's no play on the game for me. Bucks first half, the number was a tad bit too high at 7.5 though, so I didn't get there with anything at all. Let's see. Justin says he did get there with the Bucks minus 7.5 in the first half. Says I'm dodging the Bucks, can't trust them no more, and it's yes. Kale is it okay? So I got that right. Chaotic. Gerson says Bucks are on the no bet list, and I could agree there. Tasha says I did take over 217, but now the line is at 218 and 218. So Tasha, if you go back and listen to this morning show, you remember we said that I said that you wait until Chris Middleton gets ruled out. So if you want the over in the game, you wait until it comes down, right? And like you said, I think it was at 220 when we did the show this morning. No, it dropped 5 points. It was at 222. It's all the way down to 217. Now is the time to take the over for sure, Tasha. You're exactly right. I think the Bucks just be BSing on defense, and I do think that they will be able to score. So looking at a Memphis team total over, I don't think it's a bad look in this game at all. Let's see. Erica is back. She says Wizards plus 13, Tasha. The bet still on, right? $100. Tasha says not 13. And Tasha does remember that as well. All right. So yeah, that number should, I think Rashawn Holmes means at least a half a point. Who are the so we're down with Rashawn Holmes. They don't have Marvin Bagley. They don't have Johnny Davis. They don't even have a true center. Kyle Kuzma's probably gonna play the 4. Kyle Kuzma probably gonna play the 5. Denny Avdija probably slides to the 4. Maybe you put Corey Kispert at the 3. He's big enough to play the 3. I'm not even sure what the Wizards are going to do with this lineup, but it should be an extremely fast-paced game. Give me the over. Tasha and Erica in the chat, y'all can fight for who going to cover the spread. All right, so let's move on to another game. We got the Oklahoma City Thunder. They will be in Boston tonight. Did a deep dive into this one earlier as well. Of course, I think everybody thought SGA and Jalen Williams was going to play in this game. They were both listed as questionable. That line moved from 8.5 up to 11 now because both of those guys have been ruled out. So you get a bad spot for the Thunder, in my opinion. Second leg of a back-to-back, third game in 4 nights, and a fourth game in 6 nights. And they're going to be without 2 of their best players. Jaylen Brown's status is still up in the air. He's listed as questionable. Boston really has nothing to play for in this game. Are they motivated to win this game by double digits? They could potentially win this game by double digits, even though they aren't motivated. I think this is a real flat spot for the Oklahoma City Thunder in this game. One thing, so I did this show with Kyle and Ski at 3, and Ski talked about really liking the under in this spot, which kind of got me to thinking. And I did my homework, did a little bit of homework on the under because I hadn't capped the game since the total had dropped. And we think back to yesterday, OKC was in Philly. And OKC couldn't score in that spot without Jalen Williams and without Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. So this to me feels like a slower paced game. Boston at home, one of the better defensive teams. And I think, looking at the pace, Boston, not playing at an extremely fast pace. If OKC has any kind of motivation, and if Boston is affected by being their first game back home after a 6-game road trip, they could potentially come out flat in this spot. I do think the under is the better play here. So the total was at 231. It only dropped 3 points with Jalen Williams and SGA potentially being with both of those guys ruled out. I know that some of that was probably baked into the line, but this is like where the total kind of opened at, and then it went up 3 points. So the under, I do agree with Ski. He talked about it on Kyle's show. The under is the bet in this game. 228 is the number. I still haven't bet it yet, but under 228, Boston and OKC, I think, is the best play in this game. And it may just be a Thunder team total under in this spot, just based on, like I said, second game of a back-to-back. It's a roll back-to-back. Third game in 4 nights. You're without two of your best players. Fourth game in 6 nights. I see this Oklahoma City Thunder team struggling to get to 110 points, which is what their team total is right now on Bet365. So full game under, OKC team total under. Yeah, I think that's the play. Minus 115 on Bet365 is the play. Oklahoma City and Oklahoma City Boston under 228. Oklahoma City team total under 110 and a half. Let's see what you guys are saying here. Justin says, I'm definitely not missing the morning show. Got to see the results of the Queens. Yeah, we'll be here in the morning, man. Probably about 8:30. We'll do the morning show. Tasha says the total on is at 230 on Bet Rivers. So you get a much better number there. I thought I saw it at 220. Well, 228 was the consensus when I just checked the lines. But yeah, Bet Rivers do be having some off lines. I love Bet Rivers for that reason. So definitely shop around, get the best number. Looks like 229, 228. Well, 229 is the consensus, but it is down to 228, 228 and a half for some books. Justin, he said, I disagree. Love the over 228 and a half here. So he thinks that it'll be a high scoring game. Heyman Howard says Celtics first half team total over 60 and a half. Celtics start hot and cool off in the second half. I think I like the spread more than I like the total. And I think it's going to be played at a slower pace, but those are just my thoughts. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that team total. I think if you like Boston and you want to play the first half, I think you just play the spread. They've been the best first half spread team in the league. Let's move on to the Pacers and the Nets, man. Feels like a trappy game. You got the Pacers laying 7 points on the road. Just smoked this Brooklyn Nets team. That game was never close. They was up by 20 at the end of the first quarter, up by, I think, 30 at halftime. Never was a close game. Should have been on the Pacers in that spot. I talked about the Pacers team total going over. But now you got Miles Turner, who probably not going to play. We talked about this earlier. That finger, has him listed as questionable. Oddly enough, on the season, Indiana actually has a higher plus minus with him off the floor than they do on the floor. That was something I looked into after we did the show this morning. The Nets are not good. 3-7 straight up and against the spread in their last 10 games. Pacers playing a little bit better, 6-4 straight up and against the spread in their last 10. They have been slightly profitable on the road, 20-16-1, and they still needed to win games as well. They do have a game against the Thunder coming up on deck, but they've already beaten the Thunder. So I feel like from a motivation spot, the Nets might be 1-2-3 Cancun, but the Pacers also could come out super flat in this spot. I like to back the Pacers off losses, not off wins. It's one of the reasons why I kind of stayed off of this one, because Pacers they've blown out the Nets twice, both wins by 20 plus points, and somehow the spread is still just 7. The Nets, not a good basketball team, so I won't talk about this one for too long. But that's literally all I got on the game. Pacers should be able to get whatever it is that they want. Not having Miles Turner, he hasn't been ruled out yet, but not having Miles Turner, I think, does impact this game, and it does feel like more of an over type game than an under type game. Even though you can't trust the Nets because all they want to do is shoot a bunch of threes. Let's see. Pacers first half, Tasha likes, minus the 3.5. This is a live betting game. The Pacers go down, I will take them to win the game. I don't think that they're going to lose to the Nets, but I could be wrong there as well. What else you guys saying here? Justin says, Tasha, I'm going to make sure I catch all ChrisBeCappinn shows tomorrow. On God. Oh, man. All right. Don't sound like y'all too interested in this one. Let's move on to the next one. It's going to be a quicker show, man. Orlando. Yeah, we got 3 games left. Orlando and New Orleans. I did end up getting to the window here right before the show as well. This line is at 4.5, most spots. I do see a 5 on bookmakers as well, so definitely shop around for whatever side that is that you want. But we get the Orlando Magic and the Pelicans. We capped this one live on the show earlier. You get an Orlando team that should come out in a super flat spot. It's the first game after 8 straight home games for them. They're coming off a 1-point win as a 17-point favorite against the Portland Trail Blazers in a game that they probably should have lost. And for the Pelicans, you get a double bounce back spot for them. They got smoked to the Phoenix Suns, and we talked about them playing against much better competition as of late. You go through and just check the teams that they played against, all playoff caliber style teams in their last 5 to 7 games since Brandon Ingram has been out. Now, the Orlando Magic are no pushover. We talked about them being the best defensive team in the NBA over the past 2 weeks, but they have had a super soft schedule. To me, it's a bounce back spot for the Pelicans. If you like the Pelicans, you know how to play them. They've been the second most profitable home team in the first half specifically, and I think this is the bounce back spot for them here. I think as long as they can limit the Orlando Magic from getting inside on the paint, I think that they can score. As we get news that Caleb Houston has been ruled out, which is a shooter for them, he's definitely going to be needed because Orlando during that whole 8-game homestand really struggled to score the basketball, which is why they've had to rely so much on their defense. Earlier this morning, I talked about taking the Pelicans taking the under in the game. I still feel like it's an under spot. I absolutely do. I don't think I think Orlando's defense is still going to show up. I just think that their offense is still going to struggle to score the basketball. So under 208, still something that I have sitting in the best slip that I haven't placed yet. But I did play the Pelicans in this spot. First half minus the 2.5. It's only minus 108 on FanDuel is where I locked it in at right before the show started. So I still got to send that out as well. But I played the Pelicans in the first half, stayed away from the full game just because they can get a little lackadaisical in the second half. I do think that they smoked the Orlando Magic here tonight though, but I did not end up playing the full game. You just need them to be able to limit, which everybody else is doing a good job. You just need them to be able to limit the Magic from being able to score. Let's see what you guys are saying here. Dante says Pacers 0-4 against the spread, 3-1 to the over without Miles Turner this season. That makes a ton of sense. Josh Hart listed as questionable for tomorrow. Mitchell Robinson questionable for tomorrow. What up to my guy Prolific? Tasha says, who you on, Prolific? DMP says, just got here. What I missed? You missed all of it, DMP. We got 3 games left, going through them pretty quickly. If you join late, like I said, and you want the full breakdowns, just go back and listen to the morning show. We did an in-depth breakdown of every single game, gave a lot of trends, a lot of angles, a lot of matchup perspective type plays, content and perspective. If you guys are interested, Justin, he said it this morning. He's saying it again with his chest out. Pelicans minus the 4 with confidence. Try me. Okay, I like it, Justin. Okay. Tasha says I don't trust the Pels. She's off. Call me Aries says Pelicans is so close to falling back to the play-in. I got them winning from here on out. Jaylen Brown is available to play. He looks like he's going to be in, which is big, I think, for Boston being able to cover. Also, probably a look towards you wait for the under if you want the under in that game because it should tick up with Jaylen Brown being ruled in. Prolific says I took the Lakers over and a 3-leg parlay, taking it light today. Yeah, all my plays are pretty light as well. Tariq says he likes the Pelicans first half and full game. Took it this morning when I was listening to the morning show. And Child Tick says, what do you think about the Pels first half? Pels cover first half or Pels money line first quarter. Also thinking about the under 53.5 for the first quarter. Yeah, I definitely like the under first half in the first quarter for the first quarter, under 53.5. But that's a super low number, though. That's a super low number. I know that the Magic haven't been scoring, but I like to get a little bit higher than that. You could, slip into scoring 27 apiece in the first half in today's NBA. So it's it. First quarters are super volatile, which is why I've been off of them. But I do like the Pels first quarter as well. I think if you like the Pels first half, you got to like them in the first quarter. They typically do play really, really well. Matter of fact, let's pull up the trends real quick on this one before we move on to the next game. First quarter spread. First quarter spread last. So on the season at home, the Pelicans are 20-15 against the number in the first quarter. Last 10 at home, the Pels are just 5-5 against the spread in the first quarter. 3-2 in the last 5 in the first quarter. Let's look at Orlando real quick, which Orlando hasn't played a road game in about 2 weeks. I expect them to come out super flat. Orlando 2-3 ATS in the last 5 first quarters. Last 10, Orlando is 3-7 against the spread in the first quarter on the road. So yeah, that could be a really good spot for Orlando team total under, or for a Pelicans first quarter spread. And you should be able to get like a 1.5, right? It shouldn't be a big number that you got to lay with the Pelicans in the first quarter. Probably 1.5 is what I would think. And I do like the Pelicans early. I just don't play first quarters because every time I play them, the game starts off the opposite way of whatever I anticipated. It's just super volatile. But let's get that first quarter number real quick. I'm just interested. I hadn't even looked into it. First quarter point spread. Let's see. Pels are, yeah, you can get a 1.5 on FanDuel at -105. So no juice at all. -105 on FanDuel. A lot of -110s, -115s. I like the Pels early too. Could not talk you off of them winning by a bucket. What's up to my guy Kenneth? He says right on time. Pels first half, full game he likes. DMP says I'm on the Magic to get back right tonight. Okay, so opposite sides there, but I didn't play the full game. And Chelsea says, yeah, I feel you. Always scares me. I like winning though. Get in and get out. So yeah, couldn't talk you off at all. Let's move on. We got 2 more games to go. What's up to my guy JTC? You just tapped in as well. Next game, we got the Raptors and the Timberwolves, man. Raptors don't really have anything to play for. Timberwolves also, they have something to play for, but I don't know if they necessarily need to win by 16. I'll tell you guys this. We talk about this a lot, right? The Timberwolves don't cover at home as double-digit favorites. For whatever reason, it's a super flat spot. At home as a double-digit favorite, I still got the trends pulled up from the morning show when we talked about it earlier. Timberwolves as a home favorite laying double digits, 4-8 against the spread. 33% of the bets they've actually covered in this spot. And that's because the line just gets a little too big for them. They can win by 7. They can win by 8. They can win by 9. They're not winning by 15 plus in these spots. They have 2 wins. They have 2 wins of 20 points or more this season. They beat the Trailblazers by 23 back on January 12th. And they beat the Mavericks by 34 on January 31st. Outside of that, it's a couple 15-point wins in here. They beat the Pistons by 15, but they were laying 16.5. They beat the Grizzlies by 15. They were laying 12.5 in that game, and they beat the Pacers by 18, and they were laying 10.5 in that spot. But these recent wins, 9, 9, 5, and 15, all non-covers. They beat the Suns by 9. They beat the Grizzlies by 9. They beat the Blazers by 5, and they beat the Pistons by 15. And they were laying at least 13 at every single one of those games. One of the reasons why I can't trust them in this spot. The over-under is a little shaky. They're 7-4-1 to the under in this spot. If you look at them when they're unrested, one of the reasons why I wanted to get to the over in this game, they are 3-0 to the over when they're home favorite laying double digits, and they're unrested. They played the Grizzlies twice in this spot. Both of those games went over. A very similar total, 214 in one of those games, 209.5 in another, and then you get 210 against the Trailblazers as well, and that game goes over the total. So the reason why I didn't get there with the Raptors, and I probably still should, is because I didn't like the injury report in this one. We talked about it this morning. The only way I was looking to play the game was Raptors. I'm not even looking towards the Raptors. I'm looking to play the over in this game. And I just didn't like the injury report. The Raptors are already shorthanded. They do get quickly back, but you got Abaji listed out. Bruce Brown listed as a game time decision. It looked like he's doubtful. I thought he was actually ruled out. RJ Barrett, of course, played yesterday. He's not going to play. Kelly Olynyk is out in this game for rest. So the Raptors should get smoked in this game. I'm not trusting Jordan Nwora and Grady Dick and Gary Trent Jr. Only thing you would hope is that they could potentially, shoot the lights out and get hot from 3. But Quickly's going to have his hands full if Minnesota, plays any resemblance to defense in this game. Toronto doesn't have a true center. Minnesota should be able to score at will, but I didn't play the game. Only way I'm playing it is over, though. Only thing I'm playing is the over. Not trusting the Timberwolves laying this big of a number. Like I said, they're 4-8 against the spread, laying double digits. But the Raptors, I mean, you really taking points with them? They're 0-10 straight up and 1-9 against the spread in their last 10 games. Can't get there at all. Let's see what you guys are saying here. Tasha says too many points. Tasha also says, can someone tell me why Bet Rivers removed the over-under? They probably removed it because Jaylen Brown now, Tasha. If you're talking about that Boston one, because Jaylen Brown got ruled in. DMP says, after listening to you, Kyle, and Ski, Minnesota is laying way too many points. And the last Raptors played hard against the Lakers, and Minnesota is my Lakers Raptors cover. Okay. Tariq says he passed as well. Jeremy Grant just got ruled out. I figured he wasn't going to play. I'm not sure why they even listed him as doubtful. He's been listed as doubtful for like 2 weeks and hasn't played in one game. Like, you can't be doubtful every game. Like, just rule him out. It's okay. All right, Tasha got her line back up. Did we get more injury news? No, we didn't. And Tasha says, yeah, no way I can trust Toronto. 2 teams you can't trust. I kind of lean Minnesota, honestly. I think that they should be able to win. I know that, that they don't cover these big numbers, but this Toronto team is so depleted, boy. Like, if they're not making threes, it's gonna be hard for them in this one. Yeah. They might have a quarter where they don't score 15, where they don't score 16 points, honestly. And that's why I couldn't play the over. Last game on the board, and it should be a good one. We got the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Phoenix Suns. Not a game that I'm betting. Since the show this morning, Donovan Mitchell did come off the injury report. I think Isaac Okoro is listed as out in this game, and we're still waiting on the status of Grayson Allen. And I think Grayson Allen is humongous in this game. I talked about it earlier. This Phoenix Suns defense, not Phoenix Suns, I'm sorry, the Cleveland Cavalier defense, 29th against the three-point shot over the last 2 weeks. And Grayson Allen is a big part of what Phoenix likes to do on the offensive end. Of course, they like to, drive, penetrate, get to the rim, and then kick out to their three-point shooters. They're shooting the three at a really, really high rate over the last 2 weeks. And they're going to need to, do that because Cleveland does a really good job of defending the interior. You got Evan Mobley and Jared Allen down there. It's not the greatest spot for Cleveland because they're on the second leg of a back-to-back, third game in 4 nights, and a fourth game in 6 nights. Also the third game of a 6-game road trip. They got the confidence boosting win last night. They got it against the Utah Jazz. This team, they while they win games on the road, 22-16 straight up, they are just 18-20 against the spread on the road, 4-6 straight up, and 3-7 in their last 10. Very, very untrustworthy as of late. And Phoenix, same thing, right? Like, I can't get Phoenix right. And I told you guys, if you've been watching the show recently, I'm not betting on Phoenix. After they lost to OKC and just didn't show up, to me, that seems like it could happen any night. And I'm not okay with that. Now, they do need the game, though, because the Lakers have been on their tail. Lakers not giving them any breaks. Lakers are a game and a half behind them, trying to move out of that 8th spot and get into the 7th spot. So Phoenix does need to continue to win. So do the Sacramento Kings. Both of those teams tied with the same record right now. So Phoenix should be motivated in this spot. Cleveland should be motivated in this spot. I have no idea to do with this game. You do get a revenge game for Phoenix. For Cleveland. They did lose 117-111 back on March the 11th. They were laying 7 points. So Suns didn't cover that game. And Donovan Mitchell, of course, didn't play. But I can't get there on either side, man. Extremely inconsistent teams on both sides. But if I tell you this, if I like the Suns, I definitely want Grayson Allen to be a part. I think in the game against Grayson Allen, the game against the Cavs, Grayson Allen hit all the threes. And that's, like I said, the most vulnerable spot for the Cavs defense, i.e., if you want to reference, go back and check the Denver Nuggets shooting 65% from the three-point line just 3 days ago on Sunday when they were in Denver. This is not a good three-point defense. Do not be fooled by the Utah Jazz not being able to make shots last night because the Utah Jazz really have a G League team out there right now. So I'm not laying with the Suns. I'm not taking with the Cleveland Cavaliers. If I was forced to do it, I'd probably be looking towards the Cavs and taking the points. I probably would because I don't trust the Suns. But with that said, I didn't trust them in the last game, and I thought that they were going to beat New Orleans, and they smoked New Orleans. All right, is Devin Booker going to shoot that well again, though? Have 52 points again? Or is it Kevin Durant night? Cavs don't have enough great defenders, in my opinion. And I don't like the spot. Second leg of back-to-back, third game of 4, and the fourth of 6 for him here. Let's see what you guys are saying here. Clarence, going back to the last game, he says Toronto is not going to score 100. He says they're not sniffing 100. He's taking their team total under 99. Tasha says Mitchell in, going over 226. I know we talked about that earlier this morning, Tasha. And as far as the total, I do kind of lean towards the under. I don't trust the Phoenix Suns at home. I don't trust their defense. I know that they've been playing a little bit better recently. But Tasha, me and Tasha talked this one out earlier this morning on the show. I was leaning towards the over. She was leaning towards the under. I think it is an over spot. These are wildly inconsistent teams. What if the Cavaliers decide that they want to play defense that they were playing from a month and a half ago, though? Especially with Mitchell being back. I think it's an over game if I had to play the total, though. I would say that. And maybe a look towards the first half over because the Suns defense and their offense gets worse. Defense gets better in the second half. And I think the Cleveland Cavaliers could also run out of gas being that they're coming out of Utah. So I wanted to look at the Suns after the All-Star break, after a win. They are 2-9 straight up, are the Phoenix Suns, if they've won a game since the All-Star break. I'm sorry, not 2-9 straight up, 4-7 straight up, 2-9 against the spread. They are extremely inconsistent. The last time they won a game, they got smoked by the Thunder by 25 points. The time before that, they won a game. They lost to the Spurs, laying 12. The time before that, they beat the Spurs. They beat the Hawks. But before that, they lost to the Bucks. That was on Sunday. Got smoked in that game. Never showed up defensively. The time before that, they got smoked to the Celtics back-to-back after wins. I can't get there with the Suns, man. No way I can get there with the Suns. But they probably come out and cover the spread here. Let's see what you guys are saying. No play for me. Tariq says, Chris, don't bet on Phoenix, man, so I can. You got it, Tariq. I'm not betting on them. You got it, my brother. I actually lean the other way. Timothy says the Boston first half spread has hit 7.5. Would you guys think is playable? If they're going to, Timothy, what I'll tell you about that, man, is that it really don't matter what the number is for Boston. If you like them, just play them. Boston is the best first half team that we have probably seen in a very long time. And, with the right unit size, if you've been betting them all year, you could take the playoffs off. You wouldn't even have to play anymore. Boston is that good in the first half. In the first half of games, Boston is that good. Specifically at home, I know on the road they've actually been better, but at home, it is a revenge game. They're gonna have all hands on deck. I don't think anybody's on the injury report with Jaylen Brown being in. I couldn't talk you off of taking Boston in the first half. And I know that so on the full season, Boston is a plus 16.6. So they're outscoring teams by 16.6 points per 100 possessions on the full season. But after the All-Star break, I think it's been even better. After the All-Star break, Boston is a 21.5, plus 21.5 in the first half. Offensive rating of a 132.5, defensive rating of a 111.5. So that means for every 100 possessions in the first half, Boston has a 21-point lead against their opponent, which is absolutely crazy. They're outscoring their opponent by 21.5 points per 100 possessions. So yeah, there you go. Let's see. DMP says he likes Grady Dick over. He says pause over 2.5 threes at plus 125. Bro, be shooting. That's a lot. Okay. He can go get plenty of opportunities in this one, DMP. So as long as Timberwolves had a guard let down a little bit, I can see this cashing. Tasha says, Timothy, I love it. I bet that. So she's on Boston first half. It's something that you really just play every time. And Justin, he says cash plus 5.5 is on his card. Tasha says with Mitchell back, it will go over to 226. And I would agree. I like both of y'all players here, Justin. I like this plus 5.5 for the Cavs. Not going to play it. Tasha, I do like this over 226, but I think I would look first half a little bit more. Just because I can see the pace slowing down in the second half. Cavs potentially running out of gas. Tariq says Boston is serious when it comes to winning the first half for whatever reason. They are. And 77 Figure says Mitchell needs to get in the rhythm before playoff. Spider always hurts. Yeah, that's a fact. He does need to get into a rhythm. Trying to play with that mask on too. I know it's difficult, man. Tariq says just wanted to mention the Warriors win yesterday. Everyone was on the mask. And what did I say yesterday morning, Tariq? I said specifically what I said was real quick. Let me just go back to that real quick. Dennis Smith Jr. just got ruled out. Cam Johnson is available to play. real quick, I want to go. I still got my notes up from yesterday, and I just this is just a learning something I want people to like take, like, not just because I used to do this as well when I first started sports gambling. When you see a team that's won 7, 8, 9, 10, even 6 games in a row, and then all of a sudden, you know that this is the hottest team. Everybody been betting them. They keep cashing for you. When you see that team as a dog in the next game, your antenna should probably start to stick up just a tad bit. It's not to say that they're not going to win or they can't cover, but something should be up, right? And I saw the game open with Golden State laying a point, and I said, man, everybody is going to take. I knew I wasn't going to play the game. I said, man, everybody's going to take Dallas. +1 against Golden State, everybody's going to take Dallas. And just so you guys know, teams on a 7-game win streak, and then all of a sudden, they're a road dog in the next game. 70-146 now. That's less than 32% of the times do those teams actually win. So 70% says to just take the favorite if the dog has been on a 7-game win streak. I just wanted to shout that out real quick because a lot of people told me, just go ahead and take Dallas. It's easy, Chris. I said, nah, I'm good off the game, man. Tasha says, Tariq, not me. I was on the Warriors. Tasha did say she was taking the Warriors every single time, and I probably should have as well, especially since they took my money against the San Antonio Spurs on Sunday, man. Still, that one still hurts. So that's the show for today, man. Still 48 minutes. And here's what the plays that I just talked about taking. Lakers and Washington, the only play that I gave out last night, over 234. That number is up, especially with Kyle Kuzma being in. I think it's up to 236 now, 235 and a half, 236 and a half on Circa right now as well. The Pelicans first half, minus the 2.5. I did play that one. And then a small play for me, man, on Portland. I took them on the money line. And you can get it at plus money because they are 2-point dogs now. It's a smaller play for me. Honorable mentions, you don't see considering that on the list, but the other things that I considered, Boston and OKC under, Atlanta team total over the 118.5. New Orleans first quarter, minus the 1.5. Toronto, Minnesota over 214. And Cleveland, Phoenix over 226.5, it looks like. And Cleveland plus 5.5. I do kind of feel like they can keep the game close. Those are the top looks for today, man. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. If it was helpful at all, do me a favor, hit the like button for me. Doing 2-a-days, going hard, trying to finish out the season and cash these bets. And we'll be back in the morning as well. Let's see. LA Mack, and real quick before I get off, he says, neither team has won back-to-back. That's a fact, LA Mack. And something has to give, and that's why I'm off the game. DMP says, Chris, remember I said don't fade Steph yesterday. Yeah, Steph shot terrible, though, DMP. I think he had like 12 points, 13 points. He shot really, really bad. They still won the game, which is crazy to me. The Warriors I said it yesterday. I said Dallas is not a team I'm betting against. The Warriors not a team I'm betting against right now. Cool for me to stay off. Lovely. Glad I kept that money in my pocket because I would have bet Dallas. I would have definitely bet Dallas. Livestone says, Chris, you the best, bro. Appreciate that, Livestone. Hope you guys enjoyed the show, man. Hopefully it was helpful. Hopefully we find some winners and we make some cash some tickets today. If you guys want all my best bets when I do place them, they will be in the link to my plays are in the YouTube description. Also, if you guys are watching on Twitter, there's a link for the link tree, and you can find my best bets there as well. Resources that I use are on the table or on the show on the screen here in this graphic. And tomorrow I will have my guy Kyle Kerms. He will be on with me at 5:00 Eastern time, breaking down the games that we have tomorrow. I think it's a nice little short slate tomorrow, just 5 games tomorrow. And we got some early lines coming out as well. So best of luck to everybody today, man. I hope you guys found the show helpful. If you did, like I said, hit the like button. Share the show if you guys can as well. Bet responsibly. Best of luck to everyone. Enjoy the games. And I'll catch you guys in the next one, man. I'm out.